Hi everyone, I'm Kirsten Heim. Thank you for joining me for the March 24th ACL Weekly Update. This Saturday, March 27th, is the Campsite Swap and Assignment Day and Slip Swap. The Campsite Swap will take place at 10 a.m. and the Slip Swap will follow at 1 p.m. in the clubhouse. If you are able to attend via Zoom, please do so as the current COVID-19 guidelines restrict in-person attendance. The lists of available boat slips and campsites can be found under the announcement section of applecanyonlake.org, in addition to paper copies in the office lobby. Help us welcome spring at the golf course on Saturday, April 10th. The spring kickoff four-person scramble will start off with a 9 a.m. shotgun and be followed by a steak grill out. Registration is $35 for season pass holders and $40 for non-pass holders, and includes golf, a 12-ounce steak, baked potato, and pre-made side salad. Register by Friday, April 9th at the Pro Shop or by calling 815-492-2477. Let your dreams blossom into reality by joining the Garden Club for their annual spring luncheon on Friday, April 16th at 11:30 a.m. in the ACL Clubhouse. This year, instead of a potluck, the luncheon will be Bring Your Own Lunch. New and existing Garden Club members are encouraged to attend. For questions or to request a Zoom invite to the luncheon, email co-chair Therese Nelson using the email below. On Saturday, May 1st, the ACL PO Foundation will be hosting their first annual May Day auction at the ACL Clubhouse. You can view all the available items for auction by visiting their Facebook page, ACL May Day Auction. All proceeds from the May Day auction will go to benefit the Apple Canyon Lake Property Owners Foundation. And now I would like to introduce Sean Nordley, our General Manager, with the GM Update.
Hello, this is Sean Norley, General Manager here at Apple Canyon Lake. First, I want to start off with COVID updates for you. Governor Pritzker came out last Thursday with some updates, and we're currently in phase 4, and that's how we're operating right now. What he's created is a bridge, is what he called it, but that gets us from phase 4 to phase 5, and phase 5 is basically back to normal and open. So I'm glad that he did this. It gets us at least some steps to get open more before the summertime and before we actually do get back to normal. So the bridge will kick in when 70% of all Illinois residents over 65 get at least their first dose of the vaccination. So we're currently at 58%, so we're close. And as it sounds, more vaccinations will be available here in April. So my hope is that maybe by the end of April or first part of May, we are actually in this bridge part. So what does that mean for ACL and our events and activities in food and beverage? At the Pro Shop in the Cove, rather than having capacities, we'll be able to put as many in there that will fit within the 6-foot distance between tables, and no tables more than 10. So at the Pro Shop, it will only mean maybe 1 or 2 more tables. That's a small confined area. But at the Cove, it will expand what they can do down there and the amount of tables that they'll be able to have. It also addresses the bar, and it allows up to 30% of people at the bar. So both places will be able to have bar service once we get to this bridge area. As far as the activities, the events, and the meetings, all of those numbers go up. And right now we're under the not more than 50 inside, and actually those numbers go to 100. So once we get to the bridge, we'll be able to do more events inside and not worry as much about the numbers of people. Once you go outside, I've got to get a little bit of clarification on it. There's some that say 100 and then multiple groups of 100 as long as there's distance between those groups. But then there was one that said up to 250 people. So nonetheless, our events this summer will be able to have good numbers, and we won't have to restrict the amount of people that are there like we had to do last summer. So for the concerts, even for like the pancake breakfast Memorial Day weekend, if we can have 100 people inside and then put some picnic tables outside, we'd be able to certainly have more people for that event than we would at this point. So that's our update with COVID. I'll keep you guys updated as we get more details and as we get closer to approaching that bridge, but that's the case with that. Second topic I want to talk about today is flood mitigation. The Board of Directors has been talking about flood mitigation for the past couple of months at their meetings, and we're getting closer to making some decisions on at least getting some preliminary work done. And As you've seen from my articles in the Apple Corps last year and discussions with the board, we do have some proposals on the table from some engineering firms about what to do. And this is just for the spillway. This is how to get more water out of the lake in those heavy rain events like we had in 2017. The dam itself is fine. We get the dam inspected every year, and the inspection always comes back with no issues at all. So there's no issue with the dam at all. But the spillway itself, we're looking at maybe changing or modifying it a little bit so that we can get more water out. Some of the things that we could be doing now, or at least this spring, would be to get a geotechnical engineer out here to start looking at the spillway and looking at the rock of the spillway to make sure that the plans that we do have would be able to be done. And having him out here looking at the spillway, looking at the dam, looking at the waterfall, and determining what options we have would be a good first start. He would also probably look at some areas where he would like soil borings so we can at least test the ground and look at rock and how hard it is and how much rock is out there. Another thing that we can do soon would be having engineers talk to the county, and this would be talking about that bridge abutment right at the road, Apple Canyon Boulevard, at the bottom of the waterfall, making sure that if we are putting more water through the waterfall, that abutment would be safe, and then also talking to the county about downstream. The towns downstream to make sure that if more water was coming through the waterfall, that they'd be able to handle those additional water flows. And then the last one would be actually leveling the dam crest. The top of the dam is not level. It's actually a foot low on one side. So we could go in and level that. Now, there's a couple of options for doing that. You can use fill dirt, or you could use clay. If you do clay, it's more up to code, and it would have to be permitted by the IDNR, but we have been in touch with the IDNR about that, and it would just be a permit that we'd have to get. But those are three things that we could start on soon, and it would give us some direction on what we can do down the road for flood mitigation. The board's going to continue talking about this, and hopefully this spring we'll have some decisions and get the engineers out here and start looking at this stuff, and then make some further decisions on what can be done for the big project and flood mitigation. So I've heard there's a few rumors out there that we're going to be blasting, that dynamite's going to be used, and that the dam's integrity could be compromised because of this. And those are rumors. I mean, there's no talk of anything. If there is any blasting, I mean, that will be done by professionals, but we have not even got into any talks about that. There's no discussion about anything. We're not at that stage yet, and it's very premature. So if you do have questions about flood mitigation, please call me or email me. I'm happy to discuss it. I'm happy to give you updates on it and give you more information on what we have and what the board's been discussing. That's all I have for today. Everybody have a good week. Thank you.
There's plenty to do this weekend at the lake. From 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Saturday, March 27th, That One Place will be back for coffee hour in the Firehouse Fitness Center parking lot. So, make plans with a friend this weekend to catch up over a delicious coffee from That One Place. In the event of rain, check their Facebook page at That One Place Bean for day of details or last-minute cancellations. This Sunday, March 28th at 10:30 a.m., join us at the Pro Shop for our first annual Easter egg hunt. During the hunt, the jelly bean jar will be made available for in-person guessing. If you're unable to attend, we are going to accept online guessing starting this Friday, March 26th, on our Instagram and Facebook page, facebook.com/Apple Canyon Lake. As of today, we are keeping an eye on the ever-changing weather and are hopeful for a sunny Sunday morning. In the event of rain, the egg hunt will be canceled. Watch our Facebook for day of details. Think green, keep it clean. We are just under a month away from participating in our annual Earth Day spring cleanup. However, every day is a new opportunity to better our surroundings. With the snow finally thawed, we can now clearly see all the rubbish that has been left behind. So don't hold off to participate in the weekend cleanup only, and be sure to do your part daily. This has been your ACL Weekly Update. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll catch up next week.